This is his baby. He does everything. I don't do shit. I actually don't even commit to the show until about 5 o'clock the day of. I don't know why. It just makes me feel important. It's good to have John Renane back for the show tonight. John's been on a bit of a comedy sabbatical for a while. That sabbatical included 2 shows that he missed, and 1 show that he actually did. He just wasn't very funny that night. So it's good to have John back for the show. John, great set tonight. John is actually one of my oldest friends in the world. I met John in 5th grade? 6th grade. Okay, John transferred to my school in 6th grade. And the day I met John, he walked up to me. I was just walking through the cafeteria, minding my own business, and this kid I'd never met before walked up to me, and he says, "Hi, I'm John Renane. I'd like to be your friend." That's how I met John, and I remember thinking in that moment, how brave, how brave of this kid. Here he is at a new school. He doesn't know anybody. He puts himself out there. He walks up to a clearly very frightened stranger. And he offers his friendship. I'm not going to be friends with him because it's pretty fucking weird, but I always admired the courage it took. We, of course, did become friends. We've been friends for 40 years now, which makes John the newest friend I've ever made in my life, actually. I only have 3 friends, and the other 2 I met in 1st grade, so John was my most recent friend. Yeah, I have 3 friends. I met the other guys in 1st grade. I met John 4 years later, and I just stopped making friends. I felt like I was okay. I actually thought I was okay in 1st grade. Like in 1st grade, I was like, I'm good. Like I've got 2 friends. I was not in the market for a 3rd friend. Then some kid walked up to me in the cafeteria a couple years later, and now I have 3 friends, which is a bit much at times. I'm a little overwhelmed by having the 3 friends. The's 4 of us though, and we all recently turned 50. And we realized we were all going to turn 50 because we were all really good at math in grade school. And we were talking, we were like, we should go on a big trip to celebrate everyone turning 50. And when it first came up, I was like, fuck yes, I'm in, let's do it. Let's have an epic trip for everyone turning 50. I was like, what should we do? Should we go on a golf trip? We'll golf during the day, we'll drink all night. Should we go to see the Yankees play, maybe? Like, let's go see the Yankees play the Red Sox in New York. How great would that be? I was like, guys,
Go on a hike.
do we go to Vegas? Huh? I mean, how big do we go here? Do we go to Vegas? These were my ideas. My friends went a different direction. So we were all supposed to meet up one night and have a drink and talk about the trip. And I, unfortunately, didn't make it out. I had a stomach issue. I tried to make it out, but I realized fairly quickly that being more than 3 feet away from my home-based toilet was going to be a real gamble that night. So I didn't make it out, so these guys went out without me. And the next day I started getting texts in the group chat about their night out. And they're like, hey, we're all set. We figured it all out. We got the trip nailed down. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go hiking. We're going to go hiking probably somewhere in Wyoming. That's the trip. And then they were talking like, where should we go in Wyoming? And the guy's like, I think we should go here in Wyoming. I think we should go there in Wyoming. They're like, what do we bring? We need tents, backpacks, beef jerky, salt licks, a bunch of that shit. And I didn't respond. I was just sitting there reading the text, and I was waiting for that one text. That one text that said, hey, Tony, we're just kidding. We decided last night that we're just going to fuck with you. This is not actually the trip. I was desperately waiting for that text. I had tears rolling down my cheeks at this point. That text never came. I never got that text. And finally it occurred to me, I was like, I think these fucking guys are serious about this. I think this is the trip they planned, which makes no sense to me whatsoever. Like, the other thing that makes sense to me is I think the 3 of them got together at the bar without me, and they were like, okay, let's talk about the trip. First of all, does anyone want Tony to go on the trip? None of us? None of us? Okay. So we're all in agreement. Okay, so we don't want to hurt his feelings, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to plan a trip so awful that there's no way he's going to go on this fucking trip. No way. Ideas. Hiking. Yes, hiking. God, he hates hiking. Okay, what else? Wyoming? Holy shit, the only thing he hates more than Wyoming is fucking... the only thing he hates more than hiking is fucking Wyoming. All right, anything else? Well, one time I think he said he was scared of bears. Well, this is fucking perfect. There are so many bears in Wyoming. There's more bears than people. Guys, I think we got it. I think we nailed it. We'll text him tomorrow and we'll tell him all the plans. That's the only sequence of events that makes any sense to me, because there's no way 3 intelligent men got together and planned a trip that was awful. just no way. I don't know if they could have planned a worse trip. Like maybe they could have said, hey, we're going to a Nazi rally for our 50th birthday. Or hey, we're going to go to a country music festival for our 50th birthdays. I'm actually surprised they didn't incorporate those things into the trip. You're like, all right, Tony, here's a trip. We're going hiking in Wyoming. There's going to be a lot of bears, a lot of Nazis, and a fuck ton of country music. What do you think? What do I think? You know what? I think 45 years ago I made some really poor choices about what kind of friends I was going to have. I think I wish I had a time machine. I'd go back to first grade and make 3 different friends who would never fucking plan a trip like this. And in 6th grade, when the guy walks up to me and asks, be my friend, I'm going to tell that kid to pound sand. That's what I'm going to do. These are my friends. They planned the whole trip designed to get me not to go. But the joke's on them, because I'm fucking going. I'm going for a few different reasons. First of all, spite. I'm going out of spite at this point. I'm also going on this trip to make sure they go on this trip. Because I know for sure if I cancel at any moment, I'm going to see pictures of these 3 guys in a pool in fucking Las Vegas together for the trip. And I'll be like, oh, we had to change plans. Wish you were here, buddy. I'm also going on a trip because they don't want me on a trip, and I feel like I have to go now. So we're going on this trip. We're going to celebrate our 50th birthday. There's no guarantee any of us makes it to 51. That's my promise for this trip. I'm going to bitch the whole fucking time, too. I'm going to just bitch about the trip constantly. Who planned this trip? So then John, when I actually did turn 50, John got me a birthday present. He got me a camping spork. You know, like a 18-inch half spoon, half fork thing that you use. You can eat a lot of food while you're camping, or maybe you just stab yourself in the face with it while you're in Wyoming. And he was so proud of himself when he gave me this gift. It was the worst gift I've ever fucking got in my life. First of all, I guaranteed we're going on the trip. I mean, you don't buy sporks and not go on the trip. You know, I mean, there's no turning back at that point. And secondly, it was a fucking spork. It was the worst gift I've ever got. I was so mad I went home and threw the spork in the garbage. Which sucks for me, because not only do I have to go on this trip, but I have to go buy a new fucking spork. I have to buy the same spork. I called John and be like, hey, where'd you get that spork? Well, a friend of mine was really admiring it, and he wondered. It was the 18-incher. Beautiful. Just fucking beautiful. My whole set is about John tonight. I have no idea. John is also a runner, as you mentioned, and in case you can tell by every single detail about him. He has run so much in his life that all the hair has just fallen off of his head. John loves to run marathons. And recently I've learned that the only thing John loves more than running marathons, you know, besides his wife and kids and shit like that, but the only thing he loves more than running marathons is talking about how he loves to run marathons. That's all he does. He fucking talks. We were at an event recently, and I saw John there talking to a guy, and I walked up to him, and John was talking about running marathons. And I gave him a few minutes waiting for the topic to change, but it never did. So I very clearly, very calmly, slipped out of the conversation. I was like, oh my God, that oven's on fire! And I very coolly walked away. 45 minutes later, 45 fucking minutes later, I walked back to where John is, and he's still talking about running marathons. And he's by himself at this point, because the other guy, he had hung himself at that point already. So he's just talking to himself about running marathons. God damn it. God, John, I love you. I really do. I swear to God, though, when we're in Wyoming, if I catch you waking up at 5 a.m. to go running, I'm going to take my breathing spork, I'm going to shove it straight up your fucking ass. Thank you for coming out for the Roast of John Renee tonight.